Hello, I'm Rabyd, otherwise known as the Rabyd Atheist, a former pastor turned atheist, now compassionate anti-theist. Welcome to my channel. Feel free to like or dislike the video as you see fit, so feel free to hit those buttons. Feel free to comment below, and I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel and hit your notification bell for more content as it is released. You're also free to share my videos as much as you like. The purpose of this channel is educational in regards to deconversion and atheist issues and politics, philosophy, Bible, theology, and relationship to those issues. Today, I just want to start off with a brief announcement of why I seem to be absent for 3 days. That's because I was. I went into the ER on Sunday, the emergency room here in my local town, and after a bunch of tests and things, they kind of diagnosed me with an intestinal blockage in my small intestine, so I ended up being admitted to the hospital and shipped down to Grand Rapids, Michigan, to Blodgett, there in East Grand Rapids, where I was treated for said blockage. So I've been kind of out of it for a few days, and it's caused me to have to take medical leave for this week. So that's going forward as we speak. But I just wanted to let everybody know what had happened to me. You're also probably going to notice a few things different already. In the videos, I actually had a real thumbnail, or at least I should. And I've also had a few things on the bottom of the screen to kind of let people know what's going on, what to do. Basically, in short, just as a way of announcement, I have starting to learn how to do this better. And boy, is it a learning curve, but I'm happy to embrace it. I just feel that what I have to say is important enough where, I need to do it well and do it right and have good presentation. So those are kind of the two announcements. But my hospital stay kind of springboarded into another topic because I've had several people talk to me about in the past about divine healing and, giving credit to God when you are in the hospital and things like that. I think probably the most annoying thing I find when it comes to people and when it comes to different sorts of topics is the idea that when you go to the hospital and everybody says, we're praying for you. Now, the first annoying thing about that is I'm going to tell you thoughts and prayers don't do dick. I really hate to be that strong about it, but it creates a problem, I suppose, as an atheist when you hear somebody's in the hospital. What are you going to do for them? Well, I'm going to do nothing. Literally, I'm going to do nothing. Thank you for letting me know. And, my thoughts are with you, but they're not going to do you much damn good other than to know that you're supported. You have my support. If you need anything, let me know. Need anything that I can do, let me know. But I'm not going to pray for you for obvious reasons. So that kind of is one of the issues that comes up when you have these situations. But another situation that came up when I was announcing this on Facebook last night, I was just bebopping and somebody dropped a comment. And it's an old classmate of mine from Bible college who's still in the ministry, I believe, or at least still a Christian. Dropped the comment, did you call out to God in your hour of need? And I thought about giving a very lengthy, torrid response to that because it was just, I don't know, I find it rude when you're have a certain outlook and viewpoint on God, and then people don't respect that when you're going through personal crisis. But, I decided to do something very simple. I gave a one-word answer, no, and I walked away. And that's because right now, I'm just looking at this whole aspect of healing and looking at how over the years, over the centuries, millennia really, the human race has really changed a lot. Currently, I'm reading a book called Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari. I hope I'm not butchering that. My own name gets butchered from time to time. I understand how that feels. But one of the early premises of this book is that the reason why we do so well is we've been able to create useful fiction that guides us and moves us down the road, that our cognitive abilities have gotten us to be able to imagine and see things differently. Now, the downside of that is I think we've created some imaginary stuff that's bullshit, like religion, but we've also been able to conceive of doing things differently and handling things differently and approaching things differently. And it's in the last 500 years or so that the human race has really taken off from a technological standpoint. So it's not like, this is new or anything. But when it comes to the medical arts, and I'm speaking very frankly here, when people ask me who I'm going to thank for this, who am I going to cry out to this, I went to the hospital. Okay, I didn't pray for myself. I didn't give it to God. I didn't tell my family to pray or anybody else. I went to the hospital because there's actually people there with knowledge and understanding of things that allow me to get better. They're going to actually do something that allows me to get better. And that's the real issue sometimes with my thing with faith and religion and everything, because religion, when it comes to the medical arts, often questions medicine, even though medicine actually has a really good track record in solving medical problems. Sure, there's a lot of things that they don't know, but they'll tell you straight up, don't know. They're not going to arrogantly presuppose that they've got some other answer. So, that kind of is spurring this conversation here of who I want to give credit to and who credit is due. I'm giving credit to the emergency room doctors that initially diagnosed me. I'm going to give credit to the nurses in both there and in the hospital. I have to give Blodgett Hospital in Grand Rapids, East Grand Rapids, props. Their nurses are first rate, all of them. I did not have a single bad nurse. Very cooperative, very helpful, very compassionate. Handled my problems, noticed stuff that I didn't notice because I was not really feeling well enough to pay attention. So that was great. And the doctor teams that came in from the student, the interns, all the way up to the head person looking at my case, these are the people that actually brought healing to my life. These are the ones that fixed the issue. Now, thankfully, I didn't need surgery. Simple procedure, flushing myself out, getting things done. Basically, I couldn't eat or drink anything for 3 days with a tube down my throat. But the alternative to that would have been to be in a lot of pain, to go through this, have a blockage, and suddenly, just one day just pass over and fall over. And, then still need the same emergency medical care. The fact is, I can point to all of these people and all the things that they did and see step by step and rationally where they helped me fix me, okay? Whereas with God or any other supernatural being, you can't connect the dots like that. I always find it very interesting that people will sit there, well, we prayed for you and that's what healed you. Give glory to God. You can't show me where God actually did anything. Okay, your assumption is that God did something. And to me, the more rational course, the more objective course, the course that actually makes the most sense, that has to be when human beings gather together and help you out and do some things and get you forward and make you do even better than what you were doing before. Okay, when you really look at the human race, we have become very, very specialized. And we become very codependent on one another in order to, I don't know the medicine to treat and diagnose my situation or what to do once that situation was diagnosed. I don't have a clue. And so I rely on other people to do that for me. And hopefully someday I have something that I know and something that I can do that helps them, or at least indirectly helps them in society as a whole. So I just want to give a shout out and a thank you to all the people that were involved. Some of you I probably don't even know or remember your name, but thank you all for just helping me out and getting me through a tough time. And I'm glad to be back, and I'm feeling a lot better. I've got the rest of the week off just to convalesce and kind of get back on my feet a little bit. 3 days without food and water makes you a little weak. So I'm and I can't really just like dive in and eat huge meals right now. In fact, that would be a really bad idea given long term looking at the situation. So I want to thank everybody that was involved in that. And just an understanding that, no, I'm not going to give glory to that which is imaginary, for that which is, is real, where people are definitely, involved in your life and using empathy and using the things that you need to do to get things done. Now, I want to go to the comment for today, and it's somewhat related to the idea of what we know in the past and what we know now. But Sweaters in Harmony posted on my Fear and Obey video, the central tenet of biblical ethics. She said, thoroughly enjoy this episode as always. If I may propose a topic for a future video, it is the mental illness in the Bible, mental illness as a feature in the creation of the Bible story. It seems to me that many of the miracles, perceptual disturbances of various biblical characters could be attributed to this sort of thing. Thanks for considering my idea, Ed. Cheers. Sweaters in Harmony, thanks for the comment. I have actually a couple suggested topics. I think I just got one talking about sanctification. And yes, I'm going to embrace some of those. In fact, I'll probably embrace both of those. But when I'll give you a quick answer. Yeah, I think a lot of what could be attributed to the past is mental illness. Seeing things that aren't there, post-grief hallucinations, you name it, mental health. I think stuff that wasn't understood by the ancient mind like we understand it today through our getting educated and learning, would have been mistaken for something else. There are many ancient cultures, for instance, that look at people who are insane as not bad, but touched by the gods. On the plus side, I suppose, they're not ostracized from society. They're not just cast out because they're nuts. That's a technical term, nuts. But on the flip side, when you start giving credence to everything they say, even though they're mentally disturbed, that's not exactly great either. So I think a lot of stories like that, I've talked about Abraham before, but the thought that you would literally put your own child on an altar and raise a knife to kill them so you could burn them as an offering because you thought God told you so. Yeah, that's big time mental illness. That's mental illness on steroids. So it's an interesting topic. And yes, it's worthy of another video, but I thought I'd give you a little teaser there. Just looking at any biblical character. I think, for instance, I haven't got to this in the Tall Tale of Jesus series, which I'm seriously considering redoing. I guess I'll let you give me your opinion on that, because now I get a little bit more technical expertise. I can make those videos a lot better. So starting over and getting over, that might be a good idea. But, when you look at, for instance, I haven't gotten to the resurrection, but it's very possible that with a couple of post-resurrection hallucinations, word of mouth, I was in a Pentecostal church, and if you're already conditioned to believe something's going to happen, and then somebody comes along with a post-resurrection kind of hallucinogenic thing because they're in grief and they see the resurrected Jesus, and then they tell everybody, then everybody starts having stories of seeing Jesus. You don't need Jesus to actually appear to anybody. You just need to have somebody believe that they did. And sooner or later, that story is going to go around and round and round. And in the case of Jesus, you have literally 30, 40 years before anybody decides to write any of this oral tradition down. And by that time, it's grown to, well beyond what the original story was, and a whole bunch of collusion has taken place. And that's why the Gospels are unreliable. So it really is that kind of issue. And so to me, mental illness and mental disturbance and all these other things that we talk about in the modern day very have a big impact on a lot of religions. And it's a really good topic. I'll delve into that another day in more detail. But I thought I'd give you that much of an answer to Sweaters in Harmony. Thanks for the comment. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. I appreciate all of you for sticking to me. I've noticed that we're still getting subscribers and things are growing, and I appreciate that. And, just continue to give me feedback as I continue to learn and grow and learn how to do these things a little bit better. And, I'm feeling much better. I thank everybody for their concern. We don't really do thoughts and prayers around here, so, there's that. But once again, thanks for stopping by. And hopefully someday I can convince you to be a rabid atheist like myself. In the meantime, this is Ed Rabyd, also known as the Rabid Atheist, signing off and wishing you a good day.